Well, they've just done another banking U-turn. Let's begin. When the banks first announced that they were closing their branches and therefore trying to shift most of their customers online or using the apps, we were told, weren't we? I'm pretty sure that there would be mobile banks come around every so often for people who are not technologically minded, and that, I suppose, cushioned the blow a tiny bit. But it seems one of those banks, at least at the moment, is having a bit of a rethink on that, which, to be honest, I think, if anything, well, it's going to cause all their customers to jump ship and go to other banks, so it'll only end up causing them a massive pain in the bum. And to be honest, if that does happen, they'll only deserve it. But anyway, the article says that Lloyds acts as mobile bank branches as lenders shift services online. And apparently Lloyds has confirmed it is axing the mobile bank and vans just days after it announced plans to cut 1,600 jobs, as it's increasingly shifting more and more things online. And the banking giant has apparently also said that visits to the branches had fallen by 90% since 2018. Well, there's no surprise there. If you're going to keep closing your branches, then less people are going to go there, aren't they? It doesn't take too much to work out, does it? But anyway, with as few as 2 people regularly visiting the service in some locations. The fleet of vans visit more than 120 towns and villages at least once a month, providing cash and cheque services, account inquiries, and also help for people who are not easily able to visit the high street branch. So think about it, if they are going to cancel that service, which visits 120 towns, that is going to surely affect a lot of people. And yes, admittedly, whilst only 2 or 3 people, they say, only actually visit them, I'm guessing more people would if they promoted it a lot more, maybe in adverts in newspapers or leaflets through the door, things like that, instead of just on stuff like, I don't know, social media, for example. And even if they do promote it in those ways, I think they might get a bit more customers if they put a few more leaflets out there. And yes, admittedly, that would increase their costs, but, I could be wrong. I'm sure a van that drives around is cheaper than having a branch in a town location, and that is their own choice, of course. But personally, if it was me, and my bank done that, I would certainly be thinking if I want to bank with them anymore. But that's personally just me. Although they do say that the banking group has already been in the process of informing Lloyds Bank and the Bank of Scotland staff as well as customers about the closures, which will happen in May. Lloyds announced last week that it was cutting about 1,600 jobs as its focus increasingly turned towards online services. However, 830 new roles will be created as part of a shake-up, resulting in a net reduction of 769 jobs. So whilst it is good that not all those 1,600 people are going to be losing their jobs, 769 people still will, so it will affect them, obviously. And they will know that, of course, be added to the dole queue, along with any of those 1,600 that the bank doesn't keep, if it instead recruits brand new employees who didn't work for the bank. And the worrying thing is that AXED UK warned in a report last year that the rise of digital banking and cashless transactions and the closure of branches risks some people being cut adrift from society. Now, I've always said, even though admittedly I do use my Apple Watch to make payments, I have always said, and I will always say, that cash should always be a form of payment for people who are not technologically minded and actually rely on cash. I think it's absolutely disgraceful that people who do rely on cash may feel that they may longer be able to do so in maybe 10 or 20 years' time. They should actually be given the reassurance they need from banks and the government that cash is going nowhere at all.